All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? My people in Manhattan, the Boogie Down Bronx, Queens, or the Staten Island, my homeborough, Brooklyn. Back at another video. As we all know, the NFL playoffs is upon us. Wild card weekend. I can't wait. As you all know, the NFL postseason and going into Super Bowl week is my favorite time of the sports year. Okay. That being said, here's my prediction for this weekend's upcoming wild card game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. These two teams were battling for the division this past week. The Ravens needed to win the division, but Pittsburgh definitely needed to win to clinch the division, and the Ravens to lose to clinch the division. Of course, the Steelers ended up losing. The Ravens won, so the Ravens now have the AFC North. This is one of the best. This is arguably the best rivalry in the NFL in the 21st century, and one of the greatest rivalries in NFL history. A hard-hitting, physical rivalry. These two teams do not like each other at all. The rivalry definitely heated up in the late 2000s, but both these teams are very physical, very intense, defensive-oriented, hard-hitting, tough players, nose to the grindstone, blue-collar mentality. They hate each other, but they respect each other at the same time. Okay. Some of the hardest here's Bart Scott sacking Big Ben Roethlisberger, 95 Jared Johnson. I believe the Steelers running back number 34. I believe his name was Rashard Mendenhall. He got his collarbone broken by Ray Lewis in a hit. Bart Scott, I think he broke Big Ben's nose when he sacked him one time. It's gonna be fun watching Ryan Clark and Bart Scott relive the rivalry this week on First Take because they're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be fun to watch. But anyway, these two teams first met up in the postseason in 2001. The defending champion Baltimore Ravens traveled to Pittsburgh and lost in the divisional round. 7 years later, and on the doorstep of the Super Bowl, the rookie quarterback Joe Flacco threw a pick to Troy Polamalu, and here he is returning it for a pick six to cement a 23-14 victory, and the Steelers went on to win the Super Bowl that year. They met again 2 years later. The Baltimore Ravens were up heading into halftime. The Pittsburgh Steelers led a comeback, and they were able to beat the Ravens in the divisional round of 2010. The Steelers went on to win the Super Bowl, went on to lose the Super Bowl to the Green Bay Packers, led by Aaron Rodgers. 4 years later, the Baltimore Ravens finally got their first win over the Pittsburgh Steelers in the postseason by beating them 30-17 in Pittsburgh in the 2014 AFC wildcard game. As Flacco and Suggs embraced it after the game. So this is the first time these two teams are meeting in the postseason in 10 years. But it's a different era. Flacco's gone, Suggs is gone, Polamalu, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Hines Ward, James Harrison, Big Ben, all those guys who made the rivalry great in the late 2000s, early 2010s are all retired. Some are in the Hall of Fame. It's a new era. Same coaches, Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin, and Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin probably should have been gone a few years ago, but that's another conversation for another day. You got Lamar and Derrick Henry. You got Russell Wilson and T.J. Watt on the Steelers side. It's a new era, new generation of Ravens-Steelers rivalry that's going to be renewed this Saturday. Of course, these two teams met early this year in Pittsburgh. The Ravens blew it. The Ravens blew it at the end of the game. The game they lost, I believe the score was 18-16, something like that. Of course, they ended up getting their revenge by romping the Steelers in Baltimore 34-17. Now they're going to be meeting again in Baltimore for the first time in the history of this rivalry. They're going to have a playoff game in Baltimore. Who's going to win? I don't know. The Steelers have struggled the last couple of weeks. They lost to Cincy. They lost to Baltimore. They've been losing their last few games. So who knows who's going to win this game? But I wouldn't doubt the Steelers in the postseason. You can't count them out entirely. With that being said, I'm going to pick the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. I'll say the score will be 28-24. I say it'll be a close game, 28-24. And I think this man right here is the key, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, this could go down as one of the greatest free agent signings of all time if the Ravens win the Super Bowl. Him or Saquon. But that's another conversation. But the Ravens, they got to give Derrick Henry the ball. Derrick Henry is the reason why they got knocked out of the playoffs in 2019 when they were the number one seed. They were 14-2, number one seed, and Derrick Henry, who was on the Titans at the time, ran all over them. I think he ran for over 180 yards, if I remember correctly, and knocked them out of the postseason. Give this guy the ball. And they were giving him the ball early on in the season. Then they wanted to get Lamar the MVP. They stopped using Derrick Henry as much, and they started losing games more. Give Derrick Henry the ball. I think he's the key. If you want to get to and possibly win the Super Bowl, number 22 is the key. King Henry is the key. But like I said, I think the Ravens are going to win 28-24, a close game. I think it'll be a close game. I don't think the Steelers are going to get blown out. You know, if that happens, I'll be shocked. I know they struggled, but it's the Steelers. So if they get blown out in the postseason, I'll be shocked. I'm sure it's happened before, but not that I can remember. But anyway, like I said, Baltimore Ravens 28, Pittsburgh Steelers 24. Give Derrick Henry the ball. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, help a young brother go on YouTube. See you all.